Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Pranay. I'm the Vice President of Sales for ETHOSystems Midwest branch located in Chicago. And today what I want to do is walk you through a comparison of Sage 100 Contractor and QuickBooks, specifically focusing on 7 key areas that we see from QuickBooks users that lead them to want to move or upgrade to our Sage 100 Contractor solution. So I'm going to jump into a quick presentation. It's kind of like PowerPoint. Only going to do that for a few minutes, but then I'm going to, like I said, touch on those 7 key points, and I'll open it for questions at the end. So everyone should be seeing my screen. Here you see we do have the Sage 100 Contractor versus QuickBooks webinar, but first I want to tell you a little bit about ETHOSystems. We were established in 1987 by my father, Dominic Pranay. Last year we actually did merge with Ledgerwood Associates out of Phoenix, Scottsdale area in Arizona, which now brings us to over 1,200 clients. So we do have locations, like I said, in Chicago, as well as our Southwest branch, which is located in the Scottsdale area of Arizona. And we are a Sage preferred business partner, meaning that we only represent Sage products. I also put my contact info in there, which I will bring up again at the end in case anybody wants that again. All right, and now the 7 ways to tell you about growing QuickBooks. These are the typical 7 areas that I see and that I've seen over the past 8 years of selling this product from QuickBooks users and what has led them to want to move to Sage 100 Contractor. The first is, tracking job costs, budgets, schedules, and billings all in Excel. So not doing it inside of an accounting solution, it's done outside. And then someone has to manually enter those transactions into QuickBooks. So there's a lot of double entry. There's also, the potential for people making mistakes with the data or not knowing where files are located, things like that. Also, needing to run multiple reports and combine into Excel to get report. What I mean by that is typically with QuickBooks, to get a true job costing report with a WIP, to also show your WIP, you need to run about 3 reports from QuickBooks, export those to Excel, put them into one Excel document, manipulate the data to then get your actual WIP report. With our solution, a few clicks and you're going to get that report. So with tracking of compliance has become an obstacle. You could have hundreds of vendors and needing to track their certificates of insurance, and you might be paying vendors who are out of compliance and you don't know it. We do handle that. Lacking visibility of change orders from the field. So sometimes what will happen is if you're using things like Microsoft Word or other Office products to do change orders in the field, a change order might be done, sent in, and you don't know about it. And you also don't have it hitting your costs on the project. You may show that you've lost money on a project or were over budget in a specific area, but really there was a change order that came in that you may have missed, that did not update the budget and also didn't update the contract. With our solution, everything's tied together so that doesn't happen. Also, manually creating certified payroll reports. We do have full union payroll, and we do have the ability to create those certified payroll reports for you automatically by pulling in process payroll data, and then you can actually e-file directly through our software as well. Another area manually creating is manually creating AIA billings. So the G702, 703, a lot of people are doing that outside in Excel and having to update it themselves, not keeping track of previous builds, so they don't, they need to make sure that their next application has the correct amounts on there. That's something that we can handle for you as well. And then tracking and calculating retention is difficult. So what will happen is people aren't able to set retention on a project and they're not able to then track it automatically. With our solution, you're able to set retention right from the project level. So then anytime an invoice comes in for the project, you're going to have retention automatically applied to that. Now what I want to do is I'm actually just going to jump right into the demo, and here we are. So what you're seeing right now is Sage 100 Contractor. This is what it looks like when you first log in. Now, the nice thing about Sage 100 Contractor is there are 2 ways to navigate the solution. You can navigate on the left-hand side through a tree chart using your keypad to jump around, or just double-clicking if you want to get into AP, you can do so here. You can also set up your own menu, and this is customizable to the user. So we have a customized My Menu right here. So for this user, they do not have any access to any accounting, but we can go ahead and add it in for them. And we'll throw an AP. Now, when I save as My Menu, you'll see that those pop back up there. And like I said, it is customizable to the user. So An owner may log in and see the areas that they want over here, office admin, different controller, so on and so forth, project manager. We can set it up for them and they can actually do it themselves. And we can also set security permissions on users so they can only access areas of the solution that you want them to access. The second way to navigate the software is up at the top here through these tabs. And the tabs are nice because they have drop downs and they also show workflows. One area I like to point out right here with the Home and Resources tab, you can get to a Sage Support live chat directly through the software just by going through this tab drop down, or even down on the bottom left hand side and click live chat. What it does is it pulls up your web browser and is automatically going to connect you to the Sage Support area for you to access live chat, get to your question. Now, what they do is they use live chat for the first attempt with an issue. You're connected with the support analyst. If that analyst is unable to handle your request, then what they do is they actually they schedule a call with another support rep to handle it from there, in case the live chat analyst cannot handle it from the start. But again, like I said, we do have the drop downs and workflows. So you see clients and services, so any receivables clients, jobs that they're connected to, vendors and purchasing, so AP vendors, purchase orders from them, invoices. We can select invoices to pay, and then we can also pay vendors directly through the software. We can cut checks, do ACH. We have our projects tab as well to show jobs, any subcontracts that we have for the job, POs, change orders, as well as some project management documents such as submittals, transmittals, daily field reports. And then we do have some standard reports down here as well. As I did mention earlier, we do have full payroll capabilities. So we can process your full payroll if you're running payroll in-house. Our banking and ledger tab, if you want to run a bank reconciliation or go to your trial balance or see your check register, you can do so here. And then there are some add-ons with inventory and equipment, estimating and scheduling. And we also have the reports tab here. Now, the nice part about the reports tab is the software comes with a couple hundred reports directly out of the box. And trying to locate those reports, when you're first using it might be a little difficult, or for some reason you can't find one, but the word profit is involved. All I have to do is type in the word profit, click search, and now what it does is it searches the entire solution for every report that involves the word profit. And I know that I wanted to run my over/under billing. So this is what we use for our WIP report, and this ties back to one of those 7 areas, specifically number 2, needing to run multiple reports to combine in Excel to get one report. So I want to show you what this WIP report will look like. I'm running the report here. As you see, my report running screen pops up. From the report running screen, you are able to run the report, actually print it, export to Excel, Word, PDF. You can email the report directly out of the software. We integrate with your email, whether it's Outlook, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, and it will pull up an outgoing email with the report attached in the PDF. We can also schedule reports. So if there's any specific reports that you want to be sent to specific people or that you want to receive, Monday at 6 a.m., you want your WIP report for the week so you can see how the previous week closed and compare it to last week. We can schedule that for you. You'll receive an email with the report. And then down here, we do have filters for reports as well. For this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a job status of current. So it's going to do, I just typed in the number 4, so it's going to pull in all my current jobs. And we're going to skip $0 jobs. We can also filter by supervisor, estimator, salesperson, so we can get pretty granular as well as job type to get you better levels of detail for your projects. But I'll go ahead and run this. All right, so the report does run for me, and now we have our over/under billing, aka our WIP report. It shows me my job supervisor on the left-hand side. It shows me the job and the contract. So what was the total contract for the project? What did we estimate the cost was going to be for completion? And what was our estimated gross profit? It then pulls in my percent complete based on billings that have come in to the software to let us know, are we on track or are we not on track? And we're going to get to that in a minute here. We have everything that's been billed, and we can drill into this as well if I wanted to. All costs for the project, and then our income so far. We then have our overbilled and underbilled sections. And then we have our estimated total at completion now. So our earned revenue we're estimating is going to be 443,000. Cost of that revenue we're now saying is going to be 374,000 with a gross profit of 69,000. So this is what we're on pace to do currently. What it then does at the bottom is it totals out all current projects for me. Now notice that I did filter this out just to show current, so it's going to total out all filters, but then it also totals out all jobs. So if I had any closed jobs in here as well, we can then pull that and it'll give me all my grand totals right there. But like I did mention, you can drill into this. So for one, I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on what we've billed out for the project here for Lamb Shoes. So it pulls me to my AR invoice list for the project. And if I want to go even further, I can go ahead and see that, okay, these have been paid, which is nice. And then if I want to actually drill into that, I can then double click again and it actually pulls me into that AR invoice. All right. Now what I want to focus on is that number one area, the tracking job costs, budget, schedules, and billings. Everything's done in Excel or done in outside documents. It's not necessarily done in one place for you. What's really nice about Sage 100 Contractor is it's a job-centric software, meaning when you enter information in, you're going to tie it to a job when necessary. And by doing so, that information will fall into the job screen. So here is my job screen. I have my general information, so the job number, job name, we can give it a short name as well. Then what status is it? Is it a bid? Is it refused, contract, current, complete, closed? This job is current. And then job type. So this is a remodel contract that we're doing. If you're doing multiple job types, you're able to add them in here very easily. You can do them on the fly. This also gives you a very nice way to get better detailed reporting to see, are we doing better with remodel contract jobs versus remodel T&M jobs? Or maybe you do commercial industrial, and residential. Maybe you want to be able to segment that out and see exactly, where are we doing better? Are we doing better with residential? Or maybe we're doing better with commercial, not as well as residential. Then you can pivot your business and focus more on those key areas where you're making more money and doing better, having better production with your projects. But as I mentioned, as you enter information and you tie it to a job, it's going to pull into this job screen. It's specifically into these buckets. So I have my bid items, phase, but budget. So anytime I want to revert back and see my original budget, I can do so here. I can see the estimated hours we had and then the subcontracts we had. This is for a general contract job, for a general contractor's job. So everything is under subcontract. Any purchase orders for the project. So I do have one purchase order right here. It's going to tell me, who the vendor was, the description of the purchase order, what the status was in the total. And as more POs are entered for the project, they're all going to filter right here. Subcontracts. So now it pulls in all the subcontracts for the job. Again, the vendor description of what the subcontract is, that it's current, the original subcontract, any change orders that have been entered against that subcontract, and then my new subcontract. So what's nice about this, as I said, is it pulls everything into one area. Rather than having to go to multiple Excel documents or jump through tabs, everything's right here and very easily accessible for you. We do also have our change orders in here as well. So this is that area, this is that area that I brought about lacking visibility of change orders from the field. Now what you're able to do is as you go into a job and you click the change orders tab, you see those change orders now. There's no more, you see those change orders and how they're going to affect the project. There's no more not knowing or being out of the loop. You have all this information right at your fingertips. We also have an area of Sage 100 Contractor called alerts. And with alerts, what we're able to do is monitor anywhere data is entered in the software. Specifically, for this example, we would do a field request change order. So what I'll do here is I'm going to drill into this change order for when Bill did extra work. So as you see here, Bill did some extra work and it was labor. So it's not tied to a subcontract or anything. That's why we didn't see it in that subcontract bucket when we pulled those up. But you'll see here in the type, we have field request. When we have the alert on for notify me anytime a field request change order comes in. When Bill goes ahead and submits this change order and has it as field request, we will alert whoever you would like us to alert of this change order. So not only are you going to get an email about it, you're also going to have visibility to it on the project when you go and pull up the change orders for the project. Just an easier way to keep you in the loop with alerts. Alerts are they're a very powerful feature of the software and very easy to set up. All right. So we do also have AR invoices. So as you see here, I've got a couple progress billings that I've done. You want to go ahead and see that. And on that note of progress billing, what I want to do is I want to jump into the AIA document. So what I'll go here is I'm going to go to my accounts receivable, progress billing. I'm going to pull up that latest. Progress billing that was done for that project that I just showed for the 2020 Olson kitchen remodel. So this is my second application. We have the billing date, billing cycle, and when it was submitted. It does have a status of posted. If I wanted to go back to that invoice, I could do so here. But if I wanted to do another, what I can do is click next. And what's nice about clicking next is a new record will be created and this one will be closed. Do you want to continue? I'm going to say yes. What's nice about this is just by clicking next, it sets up my third application. It allows you to change the description and name to whatever you like. I just like to do application 3. But it has a status of open, but it also has my previously completed. So it pulls in everything. It pulls in all the data from my previous progress billings. And I do like to hide some columns to make it look a little easier. So from here, what we can do is I can go ahead and add in, my percent complete. So maybe for resilient flooring, we'll do 55%. Plumbing's at 25. Electrical wiring is at 25 as well. And electrical fixtures, we're going to leave there. I then click the calculator. It's going to say, do you want to calculate the current column based on the amounts entered in percentage? I'm going to say yes. I click calculate. And now what it does, it goes ahead and updates my balances here. It pulls in the contract, what's been completed so far, and what's the current due based on this. I can click submit. And now it's been submitted. So this is basically your pencil copy. So it's been submitted, but changes can still be made here. Now we're going to say, just for the sake of this webinar, that we're all good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to post it. So I go ahead and post it. What invoice? Yeah, we'll use 2030. Post my billing. Do you want to create AR invoice will be created for that amount? Do you want to continue? Yes. So now that invoice has been completed, I'm going to click this recall button because it pulls up the last record that was used. And now we see that my application 3 has been posted. So now let's show what it looks like if you need to submit it. So what I do is I select my progress billing by cost code, and here's the document that pulls in. So we got my application for payment on contract, what was the original contract, all change orders that have changed, what have my change orders been, what's the new contract sum, and what's my total complete to date. What did we, there is no overtainage on this project, but what did we previously bill, what's currently due, and what's the remaining balance on the contract. Furthermore, on page 2, we have our breakdown. And you're able to print this and then submit this. So you no longer need to have that Excel document where you're doing this manually or you have your formulas set up. We are now able to get you this document with a couple clicks and pull in your previous completed automatically just by clicking next, because we're going to start your next draw. All right. Now, another area I wanted to focus on was the tracking of compliance, specifically around vendors and what we're trying to, we're going to pay somebody. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up my vendor, and it's Yeti. So I have my vendor. This is my vendor screen, general information, who's the owner, their contact information. Again, you'll see here we have buckets as well. So now anytime information from a vendor is entered, it'll fall into these buckets. So if they have any subcontractors, you see them here, any open or closed POs, any open invoices. So I see I have one invoice from them. Any invoice payments that have made, all payments and all paid invoices we would see as well. But we do have the certificates. So here what we have is, this is where you're able to track your compliance, track your certificates of insurance, or anything else that you want to track right here. So I have my 2019 COI. I received it June 10th, 2019. It expires on June 9th, 2019. So I do have it set to warn me of an expired certificate, and I do have it set to stop payment on an expired certificate. And as you noticed earlier, I did have an open invoice. So I want to pull that invoice up and show you what the warning is going to look like. So they are vendor number 834. So I'm going to select an invoice to pay. And now this is the invoice selection screen. So you have the way to break down this search criteria. Do you want to do it just by vendors? Do you want to do it for a specific job? Invoices with a specific due date or a specific discount date, or you could set up a pick list. And a pick list allows you to go in and pick your own that you want to do this for. For this purpose, I'm just going to do it for the vendor of Yeti. And we're going to display the invoices. There we go. So warning, the following vendors have expired general certificates. Yeti does. And as you know, I did already have it set to stop pay. So even though I'm in here and it pulls up the invoice, if I did go to pay them and set this to pay and say we want to pay them, it would stop me and would not let me do it. So just wanted to show you that. So it's automatically going to track that compliance for you. It's going to warn you, and it's not going to let you pay based on the parameters that you set up if you want it to stop you from paying. Also, back to alerts around this, we can automatically send an email to your vendors, letting them know when their compliance is, let's say 30 days out from expiration. We have a letter that's inside the solution that we can send to them, telling them, hey, your current COI on record is 30 days from expiration. Please provide updated COI in order to receive payment. That's with alerts. It'll automatically email that out to the vendor. It'll also notify you as well that that email has been sent out. So we do fully track that, and it's completely automated. All right. And then what we'll do before we jump into the certified payroll report form, I want to jump into the tracking and calculating retention. So we'll go to a project that has retention. And I believe we'll go to job 186. All right. So you see here, this is my Williams Post Office job. It does have 10% retention. So, and it also requires certified payroll. So it's a lead into both. So what I will do is I want to pull up this for you. So here is the AR invoice bucket for the Williams Post Office job. As you see, we have 8 records in here, but we have the invoice total, what's been paid, the balance, and what's due, and and the retention on there, and then also a net due column. So this is going to automatically, as we enter in these invoices, have these invoices created because this is my progress bills, it's going to automatically pull in my retention for these. So this does it. It looks at the project, sees the 10%, and automatically applies that 10%. You no longer need to have somebody with a sticky note on something or a note written somewhere to remind you that you have a 10% retainage on this project. Our software is just going to do it for you automatically. And then same with all the AP invoices as well. When an AP invoice is going to be entered, it's automatically going to withhold that 10% retainage. And as you see, this project has quite a bit of AP invoices. And we can go ahead and drill into one if you want to see that. So this is the AP invoice from gray heating and cooling for HVAC and sheet metal. We have our description, quantity, and just the full price. What's nice about that is down at the bottom, there's that retention that was automatically applied. So it automatically pulls in that 10% of that total on the invoice. All right, and then lastly, we're going to jump into the certified payroll. As I said, our solution does handle this for you, and you no longer will need to enter in that information on your own. My data is a little old for this, but we're going to put in the week ending date, and we need that 3/47. So I click Run Report, and this is through Atrix. So Atrix is a company that partnered with Sage and actually was built into our software. I'm going to use my work in progress, yes. And that's what allows us to actually e-file. As you see here, sorry, always a few pop-ups there. But as you see, it now pulls in that report. So what it does, it looks at so I put in the week ending of April 30th, 2016. It goes through all my process payroll records and it looks for all payroll that was marked certified, and it pulls it into this report. Now I only have the two, but I have Andy Edwards, their work classification, how many hours they work each day, their total hours, rate of pay, gross amount earned, and then their deductions, their withholdings, everything is pulled in automatically for you. All you need to do is fill out the red fields, and then you're able to go to the next step to get your own copy. You can save it, and then we can actually go ahead and get the state copy and directly file this through our solution. Well, so like I said, I just wanted to focus on those 7 quick areas to show you some of the main differences that we've seen, some of the main differences that we've heard about between QuickBooks and Sage 100 Contractor. I hope you found this useful and helpful. If you want to contact me, again, I said I would bring up that contact info again. There's our contact info, that's through our main line, and then that's my email address. I try to get back to emails as quick as possible, so please feel free to give us a call or shoot me an email. I hope you found this very helpful and beneficial. Have a great day. Thank you.